like I just said, he is an elite scorer. This is a guy that for 5 seasons has averaged 24 or more points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. His best season came in 2020-21 where he averaged 27, 5, and 5 with shooting splits of 51, 42, and 85, and now in 42% on 8 three-point attempts per game. He is one of the better scorers in the NBA. You need scoring to win the game. Now, I know I talked about him being kind of a ball stopper and more isolation play, but this year, Billy Donovan for the Bulls, he's been trying to change his offense. He's been trying to get more movement, more ball cuts, more off the ball stuff. And even though Zach LaVine's numbers have been down, I attribute that to some of the injuries, the nagging, the foot inflammation stuff that he has going on. I think that has more of a play to it, but it is showing that he can play off the ball. And he's a pretty good catch and shoot three-point shooter. Not so much this year. I think he's hovering around like 34%. But I went and looked back on like I believe the last 4 seasons, he was shooting 40% on catch and shoot. And I think I had one season he was close to 48% on catch and shoot with I think 2.5, 3 attempts per game. So he would give Cade a nice outlet from the perimeter. And the reason I like Zach LaVine too is it seems like the Pistons are always trying to draw stuff up for Boyan, who's older by about 6 years from Zach LaVine. When the offense stalls and then going in those droughts, now you would have a younger, more elite, more explosive scorer for when the offense stalls. That's why I like Zach LaVine. And if you can keep Jaden Ivey and Asar with Cade and Duren and Zach LaVine, I know some fans have said, well, he would stunt the growth of these guys on the team. I disagree with that. I think if Ivy could play along with another basketball player that has some of that elite athleticism like he does, especially with that quick first step, if you could get him to play with a guy and learn from a guy that's has those same tools but has had to learn how to navigate NBA defenses to one get his shot off, I think that would be a huge plus for Jaden Ivey and Asar Thompson. And I want to get back to a little bit about Zach LaVine's game. Yeah, he's not much of a playmaker, but out of the pick and roll, he was very good. Like you can go back and watch the film on him. When him and Vucevic were running that thing, he could put the ball in a place where Vucevic could make another play out of it. And it was a good pass. Now, some of his passes are lazy. Again, he's not really a point guard, but all that gravity, he does create open looks for other players. And on more than one occasion, he has found the open guy. I'm like pretty much talking myself in to Zach LaVine here. And he can play off the ball. I know that he's better with the ball in his hands, but he can still make strong cuts. Again, he knows how to navigate the defense. He knows how to relocate along the perimeter. When I went back and watched some film on him, this was a guy that would make a pass and then he would relocate. He would move. And I think that is, again, something the Pistons are missing on this team where they could, put them in the backcourt with Cade Cunningham. And maybe that's just Monty's scheme where he's not asking players to do that. But with Zach LaVine, you're automatically getting it. So I really do think when it comes down to it, it really depends on what Zach LaVine you're getting. Are you getting the guy that thinks, hey, I should be the number one option? The offense should be built around me. If you are, then I'm not trading for him. But if you're getting a guy that's willing to take a secondary role, willing to be an outlet, willing to play more off the ball, willing to drop his usage rates, I think the trade could be beneficial because, again, you're not signing a guy like this in the offseason. You have to make a trade for him. And again, I know his contract doesn't seem like the best for people, but it is up in just a few seasons. It ends in 26 and 2027. It's not that big of a deal. What I don't like when the conversation has been around Zach LaVine and other players like him, you'll hear a lot of fans say, well, he doesn't elevate the player. He doesn't elevate the play around the other of the players around him. Okay. Well, how about we look at it this way? What if you put Zach LaVine in a situation where the players around him elevate his game and make him even a better player? We never seem to talk about that angle, and I'd never really hear it from anybody. But that's something I'm thinking about. What if you actually put him on a team where he has a playmaker like Cade Cunningham, where he's playing with a guy like Jaden Ivey, who they do set up good looks for other players. How would that help Zach LaVine? And then his playing turns elevates their play because he gives them another elite scorer, another elite shot maker. That is why I am for the trade. But again, I gave you some reasons why I'm not for the trade as well. And I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments about Zach LaVine.